Hi. Not you. My cat is like, hi. How you doing? Anyway, I play this game a lot. And there's a glitch where the hours are not correct. So that says 11 hours, 11 minutes, but it could be closer to 12 hours, 12 minutes. Because look, 11, 1, 1, 1, 2, 21, 21, 1, 1. I kind of play this game a lot. So I'm going to record a little bit. Just, and the ear things are really loud. I'm not into that necessarily. Anyway. I don't want to be YouTube famous or try to like end up with millions of followers or whatever, but I feel like I have good advice. You did. I feel like I just give solid advice basically, so I don't know. I'll do this a couple times, see how it goes. If people seem interested, maybe I'll do it more. And I love how the skeletons, there's one. I'm a skeleton. Ooh, scary. But I did want to talk about how I managed to make it so I don't really need a job. I mean, what the heck was that? I mean, I kind of do, but I could be okay without it. Like, from investing stuff, I've done that well, but I could quit, and I would be fine. I would have to stay home most of the time. Because I wouldn't have any money to spend, basically. I would have enough for, like, the necessities, and that's about it. So, it wouldn't be a fun life. Well, maybe, I don't know. But, I feel like that's impressive. I feel like that's worth sharing how I got there. I wish I could punch better. But, that was not cool. I thought I could, like, slide into him and kick him away. Anyway. I basically started with, like, 50 bucks a month. I didn't do anything special. I make nothing remarkable. But what I did was what the hell? I decided I wanted to try out this investing stuff. So all I started with was 50 bucks a month. Basically, if you lose that, it really won't matter. I feel like most people can afford something like that, like maybe $5 a week, something little. Just start little. Because even I have moments so where I'm like, do I really know what I'm doing? Or why is this guy dying so much? But that's how I recommend everybody start. You start very, very, very small. You start expecting to lose every single cent you put in.
This'll come in handy.
which means you start with the money that you plan on just completely losing. And I will say that I started at like the perfect time. Because I started when... Am I at the rock spot? Break siege. Maybe I'm at the wrong spot. But I started when COVID caused the markets to completely crater. Now it tells me to go there. I was here. What the hell? Anyway. That's what I started, like my $50 a month. I think I technically... No, I started on the way down.
That last catapult and threw ourselves over.
So when I started, the market was just starting to feel a hit from COVID. So initially it was like, wow. Everything's tanking. Like the so-called limit breakers were getting hit, and it was just ugly. So everything was red when I first started. Everything. So when I first started, I actually messed around with like penny stocks a little bit because I didn't really have the money for... I didn't have the money for like Disney or anything like that. And I also... Get out of my way! And I also didn't have the availability of fractional shares. I couldn't buy that on... Wrong button. On Robinhood. I still have an account there. I probably should get rid of it. I actually just was able to take my crypto off there, so I'm guessing pretty quick I'll end up closing that account because GameStop. But I started with investing on the way down, basically. Anything good? Not really. So I started investing the way down. I don't even remember. And I started with penny stocks because I didn't really have the money for anything else. But that... I made a little bit of money off that, but I think the more useful part of it was learning how to do stuff. It started giving me like an idea of how the psychology of all that works. So that was nice. So that's why I say just start with what you're willing to lose, because it'll help you learn a little bit. And it'll help teaching you to not buy at the top and sell when it's low, because that's what your mind wants to do. Completely. I'm almost to the point where I don't do that, but it's still... You just want to do it, because everything's going up, and you're like, oh my god, I gotta buy in. You bastard. I gotta buy in. And then, when everything's going down, you're like, ah, I'm scared. It's really easy to be like everyone else. But, best way to do really well is basically not be like everyone else. Either think ahead or basically whatever everybody else is doing, do the opposite. That's kind of the really simple version, but so I started on the market going down. I started with penny stocks. I started you bastards. Oh, you going down. I And then at some point I did get fractional shares available to me. And that's when I started going from like penny stocks and little stuff to like starting to pick up like a little bit Disney, a little bit well, I think the one biggest regret I have is not just slowly buying into a small $10 $10 share stock that, because okay, here's the way I invest. I don't look at today, whatever is going on today, I don't care about. So I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about what else is going on. That's kind of the big thing. I don't care about gas prices right now. I don't care about stuff now. I think, okay, right now we got all this stuff going on. So, what do I want? If all this, I tried to make my guy look like, what's his name? Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. I don't feel like I kind of did okay. I need better hair, but I try to basically decide that, right? I always forget about this. That I don't care about now. I care about tomorrow. I care about next week, next month, next year. That's where the money in it is at to me. What do I want? I'm going summons, so oh sure. So I don't even care about anything going on now. I care about, like right now, I'm actually starting to get interested in picking up more Dogecoin because of all the Twitter stuff. Like, you know, Elon Musk just basically said a couple days ago that I like these, that he owns 9% of Twitter, which he's always been a fan of Dogecoin. So when you're thinking ahead, that means no. Oh. That means this is too loud. Let's try this. It's very distracting. Let's try this. So that means I'm curious what he does with Twitter. Like, I started a $1 a week position in it. I'm not a big fan. I still have almost no interest in it. But he does things like look at Tesla stock. I mean, saying he's investing in, I'm almost investing in Elon Musk rather than Twitter on that. But that's how you gotta do it. You gotta look, you just gotta look ahead. You gotta look, like 6 months ago, I sold a majority of my stocks. I sold probably 90% of all my stocks. That's the only stuff I kept because I thought inflation was most likely going to happen. The only stuff I kept was oil stuff. So oil company, that was weird. Oil companies was basically all I kept for my stocks. I think I kept Disney. I think I kept my cruise line stuff for a little bit. But looking ahead, I figured inflation, higher gas prices, therefore, oil stocks. But I'm trying to go in like time-wise, I'm trying to go down my like timeline. I know what word I'm trying to say, but it's not coming out right now.
What incredible technique should I learn next?
Karana. Wow. The word that starts with a C, chronological order. I totally didn't say that right. Whatever. Let's move on. Oh, I gotta go that way. So, do I gotta go all the way back around? I don't know.
Every single one of these is indispensable.
So, probably the one thing I wish I did different, probably the biggest thing, is I started trying out like swing trading, penny stocks, all that stuff. And so I figured having the like forward-looking mindset was the way to go early on. So, market's crashing because of COVID. So at that point, what would be the big move? Think about it. The market's crashing because of a disease. So what is the big play you're looking for? What is the big thing you're looking for? Vaccine. Some drug. Something like that. That's where you're going to be set in a situation like that. So,
Oh man, you're doing so well.
I watched the news. I started Googling
For this.
basically daily,
I try to smash this through the gate.
looking for a company that would say, vaccine coming.
All jokes aside, don't keep trolls in your sleeve. It gets hot in there and they don't
Basically, whatever company said a vaccine was coming, that's what I was going for. I didn't care who it was. I didn't care anything else. I just wanted the... I was investing on the hopium, basically. And it didn't matter who... Yeah, anything didn't matter. I just wanted the first mover. That's what I was looking for. And when I found it, it was I believe it was under $10 a share. Might have even been under 5. I would have to go back and look. But it was this company called Moderna. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but back then it was like $5-10 a share. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you go look pre-COVID, Moderna was $5-10. Who's feeling me? Oh yeah, Mike. But I swung traded a little bit. I made some money off of it. I also made some money off of a company called iBio. What? I didn't know that could happen. It was, to me, is obviously just nothing. I don't even know what they are at now. It was something Reddit was pumping up, and I kind of figured it would be a pump and dump situation. It just felt like it. There was no real news. There was... I mean, you can find a lot of good stuff on Reddit, but you also have to be very careful because for every good thing you find on Reddit, there's a lot more bad. Like, a lot. So, for every GameStop on Reddit, there's 15, 20, 50 junk. Just don't listen to it type situations. So, I wish I just bought and hold Moderna, though. That's one thing I'm really sad about. I could have come out very good on that. Because it was at $10. That's fun. It started at $10 when I bought in. I did some swing trading. I rode it up a little bit, but I think I sold out most of what I had at like $30. Because Because at that time I was putting in what, like $50 a month still, I think, at that point. So doubling my money, like whatever I did, it was a big deal. It was only like $100 or something, but that was huge. I was so happy. Like a little win like that back when you're putting just a tiny amount into the market. That's fantastic.
And you feel luckier,
So I would say iBio and Moderna were kind of my two biggest winners early on. Another one that I actually did pretty good at swing trading. I didn't make a ton of money off it, but I made a decent amount, was DSS. And they were well under $1.
Well, everyone's dead.
I want to say they were at like the 10-cent range. And wherever they were, they would go from like 10 cents to 15 cents. And then drop back down to 10. And then back up to 15. And then up to 10. And back down. Wait, I think I said that wrong. Whatever. But they would go back and forth between those two numbers. Wherever it was, I don't remember. But they would fluctuate basically between the same highs and lows constantly. So I was like, oh, I could use that. So when it was at the high, I would sell some. And when it was at the low, I'd buy some more. And at one point, when everything was like all crazy, at a point when everything was recovering from COVID, there's a lot of stuff going crazy. I felt like well, not everything, but there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of the penny stuff, a lot of stuff was going nuts. And I think at one point that went from 10 to 15 cents to like 50. And I had a pretty good amount. So that was nice. I need this lower, it's too distracting.
Watch it, Fate Maker. You haven't even seen me try.
Over here, Fate Maker.
There, I can barely
Such
hear
a
it.
grand arsenal.
I'm almost out of ammo. But, so iBio, Moderna. And then, shortly after that, I got back into the mode of thinking, okay, what's next? Wrong way. Where did I go? This way. But, so, after that I'm thinking, okay, what's next? And at this point, the market was still pretty bad. Pretty low. So, I immediately went to thinking about stuff that was unjustifiably low. So I bought, what did I buy? I bought some, what is it, the makeup company, Ulta. I picked up some of that. They went from like 340 all the way down to under 100. And I didn't notice it, so I think I bought in at like 150. Which was still good. Because I wrote it back up to like 250, 300 or something. And that's one of them that I didn't have enough money to go in fully. But I think I picked up some fractional shares of that. Or I don't remember. But I picked up stuff like that, Disney. The big one I went for at that point was cruise lines.
Back in business.
Because
As you enter Brighthoof,
I kind of figured they
witness
took
total
the
carnage.
most
Homes
brutal.
on fire.
I was looking for the most brutal beating
It seems to crash.
in a company that would recover. 99% chance that they would. Like,
We'll make our stand in the main square.
Yes,
basically a
yes. Push on,
easy,
my armies of
really
unleashing
easy win.
darkness.
That's what I was going
Once
for.
I take this city, the whole world will fall into my hands.
So I figured cruise lines were kind of the way to go because early on in the whole COVID thing, I remember a cruise ship was the one that like it started the whole. I think a cruise ship was the first that was like quarantined, I believe, if I remember right. So that's probably why I was like, okay, I go for them. They probably took a just more brutal beating than everyone else. Because I picked up Disney, I picked up, what else did I pick up? I don't remember anymore. I remember Disney, Alta. Those were the big two. There's other ones I don't remember anymore. That's another thing that I highly recommend. I'm sad about Moderna. I'm sad about some other stuff that I could have just done so much better on. But you can't beat yourself up over, like, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. So basically, once I'm interested in something, I buy it. And then at that point, I forget about it and I move on. Because everything I buy, I like long term. So, short term, if it crashes, if it has a bad day, week, month. Hopefully not a year. But if it has a bad time, then it kind of doesn't matter. Because I'm in it for the long term. Like 99% of what I have. I started out swing trading mostly because I had to. Well, I didn't have to. But it's what I had the money for. Oh wait, you're a friend. Oops. That hit way over here. Huh. But I started out swing trading because of I was only putting in $50 a month, so I didn't really have like hundreds of dollars to put in Disney and Moderna. Oh no, that was cheap at that point. I never really. Wait, that's already. Anyway,
Who knew heroism required so much math? These
I totally
lands are
lost what I was
beauty.
saying.
Ooh, luck going up.
But I think where I was is that at a certain point I started looking at the market and I'm like, okay, what got beat down just stupidly? So with cruise lines being the first big lockdown type situation, I was like, okay, I'll go for them. So I picked up a bunch of cruise lines. I had Disney, I had Alta, I had, I don't remember what else. Those were really the big ones. And then I just kind of sat on those and waited. I think the cruise lines I held most of them for over a year. So I got the good, cheaper taxes on those. Because I want to say I like tripled my money on those, I think. I don't remember exactly. I at least doubled. I'm like 99% sure. Whee!
Escape the ambush, but
Oh,
you
that's
see
fun.
that the drawbridge to the inner walls has been raised. You're stuck on this side. What do you do?
But
I think it's obvious. We seduce the drawbridge.
so that's the forward-looking type thing that I was talking about earlier. That you don't
Greetings, inanimate object.
buy based on how things are in the moment. You buy how things will be. Because eventually, cruise lines will come back.
Works every time.
It seems like they're
Skeleton!
just getting back to normal now.
Come on! Main square is this way!
The
But
skeleton who brings me the queen's diamond head gets one of those novelty turkey drumsticks.
I was willing
Even
to
if you
buy,
can't eat it,
hold
they'll
for,
grab a
I
human
don't know,
like a
year, 2 years,
fence post.
whatever. I mean, the way I saw it is if I put the money in the bank, it does absolutely nothing. So, might as well just put it somewhere where
Clear the square! This is where we make our
it's
stand!
it's mostly safe and
For the
I'm like 99% sure that I'll turn $1 into 2. That's another thing. For the most part, I stay away from the GameStops, the like, come here because you're gonna make a ton of money things. For the most part, I stay away from that stuff. I mean, yeah, you can jerk. It can happen occasionally where you're part of that, but usually you're just not gonna. It's not gonna work. Usually, if somebody's saying, "Oh, come here, we're gonna go to the moon," they're gonna sell out before the moon is even a possibility. I would say another thing I wish I did was I don't do options because there's too much of a possible. The risk is too high. I'm not risking that much. Like, if stuff goes bad on options, you get destroyed. So I'm not interested in that. I mean, I'm sure I could make some good money doing it because I've kind of pretend bought some and just to see how I would do, and it went good. But I'm just too scared of the possibility of death by options. So, no, thank you. To me, it's just way too much risk, and the reward is. I mean, it seems like if it goes well, you do fantastic, and the reward is fantastic, but I can't do it. I don't know. What do I want? But for the most part, the way I invest is look for opportunity, look for moments where stuff should not be as low as it is, and that's when you buy in. Like oil, I started my oil positions when oil had the moment where it dropped down to negative. So it was, we'll pay you to buy a barrel of oil. So that's when I started buying into oil, because it can't go any lower. Like, it seriously couldn't. It was basically impossible. So that's when you buy in. I'm going full companion, so sure. I don't know who I'm going to do for my other class, but
Realize you've done it. Undead Horde has been defeated.
but
For the Queen!
It feels so
I mean, it might
good
seem
to
complicated
be a
too, but it's
hero.
really
I
not.
hope you remember this. I gave it a shot playing by the rules. Now,
Let's
I'm gonna
go back
have
to where I
start
was though.
breaking them.
Cruise lines.
The Fate Maker wields great power in the face of evil. It feels
I like this better because
something
I'm going to
lost
spend way
long
too much
ago has
time
been
playing
found.
Borderlands anyway,
It feels
because
like
this is my jam.
home.
But it's kind of hard to keep track of where I was sometimes.
Brilliantly done. Over here, Fate Maker.
I can't talk to you. There we go.
You've saved us all, Fate Maker. You are the hero of Brighthoof.
What I get? Ooh, that's nice because I don't even have. I can't unlock that for a while yet. but I get 1 point into it because of my class mod. Cool.
Now, about this bloody Dragon Lord business. I'm sure the Queen will be eager to meet our new.
But
Fate
honestly, I
Maker
don't think
in
it's that hard to just look ahead and, like I said, when
Still my heart.
when oil was basically at 0, that's when I
Her Majesty's
bought
castle
in.
swing open.
Because, I mean, that's something you
Her
think about.
magnificence.
You look ahead and you
It
think
just
ahead.
washes over you, man.
If
Yes.
oil is at
I
0,
feel it.
therefore,
Busy.
it's really easy to
Yes,
figure
I
that
did,
it will
and
go
was
up.
in honor of the Queen.
Because it kind of has to. I mean, that's probably the simplest example I can think of all the stuff I've done. That was just the most obvious,
Yeah, okay. So, she says
blatantly
you are the greatest
easy,
Fate Maker the
just
Wonderlands has seen in generations.
simplest.
But though you have pushed back the Dragon Lord's attack, his downfall can only be
Another
brought
way I like
about
to explain it is,
you
it's a little more complicated, but I think it
and
makes sense.
retrieve.
Sword of Souls.
I was getting to that.
When you're driving down a
Yeah,
street,
souls. Although, thank you,
and you're
Valentine,
coming to
for
an
paying attention the
intersection,
exposition.
you either have a green light or you have a red light. If it's a stop and go light intersection,
Complete the quest, yeah.
if it's a stop sign intersection, obviously different, but whatever. But if you have a green light,
Intense, but
you're going to drive through the
it's in the right
intersection.
spirit, mostly.
And if someone on your right or left has a red light, then you know with like 99% accuracy that they will stop. So that's all it is. You're figuring out what the green lights are, what the red lights are. And you're just putting money where, like, if you know the red lights are gonna change to green for them eventually, then you bet on the green light and you just wait. I don't know. It's not a perfect example, but I like it because it's a way people predict other people's reactions to things every single day. Like, everybody thinks, okay, that person's going to stop at a stoplight, or that person's going to go through the stoplight because they have a green. So it's a very simple way of saying, it's just, I like it. It's a simple way of explaining how, there's a dice in there. How do I get that? How other people work. I have not found this one yet. Hi.
Ooh, what's going up?
But yes, please. But that's an example I like. I think it's perfect. I wish I could speed past this.
Salutations! You're here for the Sword of Souls, aren't you? They put me in here for being
But that's basically how I invest overall. I always try to find the stoplights, try to find the green lights, red lights, figure out what's going on, figure out who's going to be moving where later.
Shooter in the face a lot.
And I put my money where people will be later. That's basically the majority of what I do.
That's not gonna work on me, you cutie dummy.
And I do wish I put money in GameStop when it was $4. I almost did that, but I was thinking, you know, GameStop, it's the place everybody makes fun of.
But she can't retcon turning
Because they'll
into
give you $2 for a brand new game that you bought yesterday.
Where's that one other guy?
Still in the wrapping.
Sorcerer Johnson.
We'll give you we'll give you $3.50.
Handsome hack.
Yeah. But I don't know. That one kind of bums me out. Because I actually could have made options from that on the way down. Because I figured it would go lower, and it did. But also I don't know, I don't entirely get how options work, so I might have bought in expecting it to go lower by a certain, I think it has to be a certain date, and then it would have gone up. I don't know. I like to say that I would have made money on the way down, but I'm not really sure because I don't know how options work, so maybe I shouldn't say that because that might be entirely wrong. But when it was $4 a share, I remember being like, maybe I should buy some just for giggles, just in case. And I never did. So that's sad. But that goes into the whole don't beat yourself up over the stuff you didn't do things. Because I mean, I didn't make money off of GameStop, but I did buy Dodge, so yeah. And that was also me looking ahead. I bought a bunch of that when it was under a penny. Not enough to retire off of, but enough to be quite happy about. But when it was under a penny, I thought, okay, crypto isn't really a big thing right now. But if something goes viral, what's the crypto that would just go viral? What's a crypto that could just be memed? And I knew almost nothing about crypto at the time, but I kind of used that to my advantage because I wanted to.
She's ruining my favorite part of killing things, which is that they shut up and stay dead.
Inside the mausoleum, a chest.
I think
catches
there's
your
a
eye.
dice over somewhere. But I kind of used my mindset to my advantage because I figured I'm kind of curious about crypto. At that time I had basically none. And I was thinking, okay, so what's one that will pop off if crypto gets popular? So I was looking for what's the word? Very low, I'm not sure. Just very, very easy to digest, I guess you could say. Something that is cute, something that is
It's a dark magic spell.
memeable and all that
Dark
stuff.
magic gives you health-stealing powers.
Sounds evil, but
I didn't really care about, like, is it a good coin? Is it a good product? Is it,
Doing a little grave robbing,
doesn't make
huh?
sense.
I
That
never
didn't matter.
completely
All that
boring.
mattered was,
I'm
would
still
people
gonna
jump
keep
in?
the sword. Let's go
That's all I
get to
cared about.
know each other. Somewhere nice and quiet.
So
Like
I
your
figured
brain.
a doggy coin, that's got potential. Because at that time it was under a penny, so it's really cheap. I mean, it can't get much cheaper, kind of like oil. It basically couldn't get cheaper. And oh, you're not alive. But so it's kind of the same idea as oil, where it's almost at zero. And I put in, at that point, I moved from $50 a month, and I think at that point I was up to, this is about a year after I started doing any investing stuff, that I decided to go for that. So at that point, I would have been up to probably $20-30 a week. So I was starting to get more aggressive. I was starting to feel more confident, basically. So I put in some practice. I figured out how to do stuff. And at that point, I wasn't really losing anything. So I'm like, okay, I can up it. I'm basically turning dollars into $2. I'm doing okay. So, let's try this. Ugh, what was that? That was an utter fail. So I upped how much I was putting in the market. Because at that point, also one of my mindsets was that everything crashed. Everything. So I was still learning, but at the same time it was hard not to see everything just drop and be like, okay, I shouldn't put money in because everything's dropping. I kind of had the thought that, okay, everything's dropping, but stuff like Alta, cruise lines, all that stuff, why is it so laggy? All that stuff was basically on sale, so I kind of had to jump at it a little bit. But I was still learning, so I didn't want to get too aggressive.
Who knew heroism required so much math?
So yeah, at the point I bought in Dogecoin, that would probably be about a year after I was like in the market total. And I probably was up to, like I said, about 20-30 bucks a week. What does this do? 2 spellcasts. Ew. But where's the one that I had? So at that point I kind of figured it was safe to be a little more aggressive and go a little harder, because I was doing alright. I mean, anybody would have done alright at that point, honestly, so I mean, it's kind of hard to say I was doing okay. I was, at that point I was still like, okay, the entire market crashed, so is it, I just timed it well, and I got lucky? Or am I smart about this? I don't know. So that was a year in, and I was still high. Oh, it's all spell shot. Right? Just get 1 skill point? No, 4. Yeah. 3. I can count. But at that point I want to go heavier because that, jeez. Because I had a better understanding of what to do. So I felt more confident. And I've said that like 5 times. So I should probably move on. But the Dogecoin stuff is just like what I've said with oil, what I've said with Moderna, what I've said with all the big name companies getting just beat up. You look ahead. I mean, Dogecoin was a gamble. But at the same time, I'm looking at it now. Focus, which one? Huh. I'll keep what I have. But, when you look at it now, Dogecoin might actually be a decent mover again because of Twitter. So it's kind of the same looking ahead. Also, when Musk went on SNL, I sold 75% of the Dodge I had the night before SNL. Is there a dice in here? Because, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's a common saying in investing stuff, but I was just up so much that I couldn't just sit on it and hope it went higher. Like, there's a certain point where you gotta just not be greedy, and you gotta be like, okay, I'm good. At that point, I think I was up like 2,000% or something ridiculous. So I'm like, yeah, I should probably just be happy. So I mean, it was a little. I did want to be greedy. Because I mean, if it went up more, that would have been even better. It would have been more than 2,000% or whatever my gains were. But at the same time, I was just got to a point where I'm like, I just gotta cash out. I just gotta take my gains, and if it goes up more, cool. I'll leave a little bit in. So I still gain a little bit, but I know what I had. So I just had to take it. And I really don't get how the Dogecoin guy did not sell when he was up. It's a dude, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a dude that turned about 50,000 in Dodge, I think. And at the peak, when it was at like 60 whatever cents, his account peaked out at $3 million, and he did not sell. Bro. Oh, so high. This early. I got a good companion spell. That's nice. And it gives me 2. Nice. But yeah, I don't know how he didn't sell. Like, I mean, I get he didn't want to pay taxes, and he wanted to hold a year. He wanted to get his capital gains lower. But like I said, there's a certain point where you just gotta say, you know what? I'm taking like taxes hits. I don't care. Oh, I should probably finish my taxes. They're only doing like a week. But yeah, how long have I gone? Because I feel like, I don't know. 52 minutes. That's good. I'm not a big talker anyway. So I'd prefer to just chill and be quiet. I'm good with that. I will continue with my starting with my Dogecoin. Next time I record. I'll probably do this every Wednesday. And just, I think I'll kind of go back and, I don't know. I have no plans for this. Basically, I'm the type of person where I like trying to find, I always try to get a hustle going on. It doesn't always work. And I don't really plan on this being like a side hustle where I actually make money. But I have time Wednesday mornings when I can do this. And I forgot about that.
Quit freaking out. It's just a minute. This is why I shoot everything just to be sure.
And I mean, I don't plan on going like becoming someone with millions of followers, and even I don't really want that. But if this did become something that would make me a little extra money on the side, cool. That's pretty much my opinion. I'm gonna be playing this game way too much anyway, so I might as well try to make something out of it. This is the third dice I found that I have not found yet.
Oh, that's one lucky die.
Yeah. But, so I think I will leave it here. Yeah, investing wise, you just gotta look ahead. You gotta think ahead. You can't be thinking about what's the cool thing now, what's the big deal now. Like I did start a position in Twitter, the day after Elon Musk said he would He bought in
Brings us to
9 point whatever percent.
Fate brings
But
us
the thing
together.
is,
That's going on my
I
vision
think he
board.
could be a good influence on that company. So I still don't like Twitter, and I'm only putting in like $1 a week. But forward thinking, it could go alright. And forward thinking, Dogecoin could go alright. I don't know. I wouldn't go heavy. I'm not going heavy into either of them. But at the same time, Musk doing what he's doing has me kind of like, I wonder how this is going to go. So that's this one I know about. That's kind of how I approach investing overall. And I was thinking about it. I think I might start. I always get hit by that. I might actually use this as like a self-reflection type thing, where I could just talk out loud and kind of think my moves through. So it won't even be for other people. It'll be kind of me talking to myself. Like, should I buy Twitter? I don't know. Should you? Maybe. Why should you? Why shouldn't you?
The moldy barrel was filled with decay. Dead
But
stuff.
I really don't have an interest in going over an hour. Because I was thinking, I don't know, a little bit ago. I'm like, man, how long have I been talking over this? So here's the thing. I want to play more. And this account will probably, this playthrough in Borderlands will probably, that was nice. Will probably be my, YouTube playthrough thing. I'm probably gonna clear out this room and call it good. Which is kind of dumb because I'm gonna have to restart anyway. Maybe I should just kill the boss. This is how this game always goes for me. I'm like, I'll just do, I want that. Once I get there, I feel like I'm gonna open up. Like I'm already gonna be so... Whenever I cast a spell, I gain health. I'll do that. I always forget about these. Maybe I should do spell cooldown. Whatever. Keep.
I feel magical.
You're good. What a shame you and your stupid queen are
The
gonna
boss shouldn't be
die
hard
before
anyway.
Deal gets the sword.
And honestly, right now, other than Twitter and Dogecoin, I'm not really interested in much. Like, it just seems like there's way too much uncertainty. I don't know if it's even Ukraine and all that has me uneasy, but just everything has me feeling very, very nervous. So I do DCA into crypto. Not a lot, but just I just nibble a little bit every day, because then you don't got to worry about if you're buying high or buying low. It just all evens out eventually. I don't like these, do I? No. Whatever. You can go too. But then shotgun, SMG, that's good. Wonder how fast this will go. I did that too early. Can't even damage her yet.
So long she doesn't get back up.
Bah! That's pretty good.